Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of Georgia Public Project. Today I'm going to run through some arrows I just got. I'm going for the heavier arrows. I'm actually shooting 830 grains right now where I'm at. So I got this test pack from Grizzlystik. These Momentum TDT arrows are really sweet. They got the tapered shaft. They came with 125 grain brass outserts and a test pack for the field points from I think 100 grain up to 300 grain and a few sizes in between. Here's the arrow I was shooting last year. It's a Maxima Red 350 with a 100 grain tip. Weighs in at 412 grains. So I'm doubling my arrow weight from last year. I never had any issues with this. I know I was gonna have issues eventually. It was just gonna, just a matter of time when I had the right shot that was gonna line up and, a quartering shot or something like that. And I wasn't gonna get good penetration. I was gonna probably lose a deer due to these arrows. So this year I'm really ramping it up. I know 830 grains is probably absolutely stupid for whitetails, but I'm okay with that. I like the extra, the added security, knowing that this arrow is going to penetrate no matter which way, which angle it goes in at, and I'm probably going to get a full pass through no matter what. So right now I'm holding the 240 here with a 200 grain tip. It's weighing in at 650 grains on the nose, and then I got the 170 with the 300 grain tip, and it's weighing in at 830 on the nose. So I'm gonna go play around with these, and we'll shoot them, and we will talk to you guys soon. We'll see what they, see how they shoot. All right, guys. So I'm gonna start out just a simple 25-yard shot, just to make sure all are gonna shoot straight. Once I get to the where they're all shooting straight, I'm gonna do some slow-mo shots of them flying, just to see how each one is flying, and hopefully you can see a difference in the heavier arrows versus the 412 grain one that I was shooting last year. So first up is the arrow I was shooting last year at 25 yards. 412 grains. Fast, shoot straight, but just doesn't have that knockdown power. Next up, we're gonna shoot the Grizzlystik Momentum TDT 240 with the 200 grain tip, 650 grains. Next is the beast, 830 grains, TDT 170 with a 300 grain tip, again 830 grains. That was an insane amount quieter. I don't know if you can hear it on the camera, but a lot quieter. Alright, now we're going to move it out to 40 yards, and this is where you should really start being able to see where the difference on your flights is going to come in. It's 40 yards plus. You should be able to tell when something's going to not fly good with your bow. This is also where you're going to see a lot of drop in the arrow, so if you see me miss, sorry, I haven't changed my sight tape to this new arrow setup, so I'm just now getting used to it. I'm probably going to set my sight tape at probably like 45, maybe even 50, just to compensate for that drop that I'm going to see. So hopefully I don't lose one of these, because it's only 2 test arrows I got. So I'm going to go get the bow, try it out. First arrow is going to be the 412 grain Maxima Red I was shooting last year. We'll load it up and give it a shot and see what happens. This one will probably shoot high, just because I have my sight tape at 45. Yep. So I missed with that one. Alright, so this is the Maxima TDT 240 with the 200 grain tip, 40 yards. Here's the 800 grain, 830 grain arrow at 40 yards. I can tell you right now, I don't have to pull that sight tape up a good bit. Here we go. Alright, so I actually changed it up a little bit. I got the 170 with a 175 grain tip on it now. It's running right at 700 grains. Still got the TDT 240 with a 200 grain tip. So if I put the 200 grain tip on the 170, it'll be 715 grains. So I'm gonna check it out, see what we got, and right now I'm gonna run the 412 again, the Carbon Express Maxima Red with a 100 grain tip. This is just helping me so I can see the difference in the flight. So here we go. Carbon Express Maxima Red, 412 grains. Really bad shot. This is the TDT 240, 200 grain arrow. Crank this up. 200 grain tip, I mean, sorry. So this one's pushing 650 grains. God, it shoots so smooth. So far, that's my favorite combination, is the 240, 200 grain tip, 650 grains. My bow seems to be eating it up. So here is the 170, 175 grain tip, right at 700 grains. Sorry about that. Alright, so that was a low shot, so that extra 50 grains really pulled it down. So far, the 240, 200 grain tip is what I'm liking the best. So I'm gonna go get these, shoot them a couple more times, see what we got. Alright, so I made another adjustment. I just put the 240, added 300 grain tip to the top. I'm gonna see how this does. That made this arrow 750 grains. That's kind of where I was wanting to sit throughout this project. Just kind of the number I had in my head the whole time. So this is gonna be 750 grains. Let's see how it shoots. I have my pin set at 50, but I'm actually at 40 yards. So that kind of gives you an idea of what the drop difference is from 412 grains to this will be 750. Actually, we'll probably have to take it to 55 for this. And by the way, I'm shooting a Matthews Halon 6 at 65 pounds. May have to crank it up to 70 just for this, so we'll see. Here we go. TDT 240, 300 grain tip, 750 grains. I don't know. So here we go. 170 at 700 grains. And 412 grain Speed Demon here. Let me see what we got. May make a few more adjustments and we'll kind of do some more slow-mo footage just so you guys can see what it's doing. My shooting is not that great right now. I just haven't really been practicing that much. I need to get out here and do it more. I just haven't really had time. So anyways, I'm gonna make a few more adjustments and we'll talk to you guys soon. Alright guys, so after doing super slow-mo footage, I believe the 170 with the 175 grain, 750 grains total arrow is flying the best. So I'm gonna do a little bit more research on it, make sure that's the decision I want to make, get my bow sighted in at that for that arrow, and then I will make my decision then. So far I think I'm going to go with the 170 shaft with the 175 grain broadhead and 125 grain outsert, and 29 inches at a 28.5-inch draw, 70 pounds. I think I'm going to crank my bow up to 70 pounds again. It's shooting incredibly quiet. It's not too much weight. I feel like the 830 was too much weight after I started shooting it a good bit. So I think for my bow, for my setup, and for whitetails, 750 grains is going to rip right through them every time. So I feel really good about this setup. So I'm going to continue shooting a little bit more, maybe even sighting the bow good, and then we'll go. I'm going to make a few more shots with this arrow just to confirm it's shooting well out of my bow. Bow seems like it's shooting really well. I don't think it needs any tuning. So hopefully that's all we need this year. Just some new arrows, and we'll be ready to rock. So the cool thing about Grizzlystik, guys, is if you order their test kit, they give you the money that you pay for the test kit. I think it was 65 bucks that I paid for the test kit. Came with 2 shafts, 2 flex shafts, 7 or 8 different weight fill points, and then 2 different shafts of your choice. And then they'll give you that amount off of a dozen arrows whenever you go back to order them. So that's probably what I'll be doing. I thought about going with serious arrows after the little customer service issue I had with Grizzlystik. Wasn't the best experience, but their arrows seem to shoot really well, and I've read a lot of good reviews about them online. So I'm gonna stick with them. Hopefully they treat me better in the future and don't have these problems later down the road. So far the biggest thing I'm liking about this is the sound dampening of your bow. Like, it's incredible how much quieter it makes it, especially once you get over that 700 grain mark. You can really tell a difference. So I'm gonna definitely probably be shooting 750 this year. Thought I was gonna be shooting 800, but I think it was just a little too much. It just didn't seem to balance well in the air for my bow. You probably need like a 80 or 90 pound bow to balance that out. So I think this is gonna be a perfect setup for whitetails, and I can't wait to hopefully get to test it out. You know, I don't have to have the fear of hitting a shoulder anymore. I think you can probably break both shoulders with these arrows. So I'm gonna put some single bevel heads on. Looking at Grizzlystik's heads, not sure. Gonna do a little research on heads, haven't figured that out yet. I'll do another video on those when I figure that out. And you know, we'll kind of go from there. So good luck this season, guys, and I hope everybody is getting their bows ready to go. Hope you are feeling like you're dialed in, and you got to have your system dialed before you get out in the woods. Make sure you're shooting your bow. I'm guilty of not doing that enough, but make sure you're trying to shoot your bow as much as you can before season gets here. You owe it to the animal to be able to give it that ethical shot every time. So get out there, shoot your bows, get ready for season, because we're almost there. We're about a month out, and I am pumped. So hey guys, what's going on? One more thing before I let you go on this video is we just got our Facebook page started. We're trying to get our YouTube going. So please like our Facebook, share our Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And I'm gonna pick a lucky winner at the end of this month for a free hat of Georgia Public Project. I'll ship it to you. I'm just gonna do a lucky winner. Whoever subscribes, likes, and shares our Facebook page will get an entry to win. So do that for me, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching another video.